several parts. They grow out the sides.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Jody started recording, so we're officially in business. Welcome, everyone, to our staff and Board of Trustees meeting for June 12th, 2025. First order of business is roll call for the trustees. Susan Ainsley.
Present.
Patrick Gillespie is absent today. Kathleen Yin.
Here.
And Carolyn Greenwald.
Here.
Ronnie Hardaway. Okay, thank you. All right, John, let's start with you this month.
I don't really have much to report. Been taking, some time off and everything. The guy's been mowing. We've, when they can, obviously. We finished the sidewalk improvement on Graham Road. We polished off all but a few items on the list of remaining items for this budget year. Jody and I'll have to sit down and figure out what we couldn't get done. We couldn't pave Graham Road like we wanted to with all the rain, and we were waiting for the RB Robinson contractor to finish their work, and they have since come down Dart Drive, topsoiling, moving a couple curb boxes here and there, and other than that, they're pretty well done with their punch list items. There's a tree at 52 Dart Drive that didn't make it, so they'll be replanting that one. We didn't get a chance to pave the trail because the blacktop plant here in Lansing is not open, and when we did the paving at 134 Graham, we had to pull it out of Seneca, which is a long time to be carting a material that has a very short workable life on it. And then, so that made things difficult. And so I contacted them again this morning. They are just having an IT guy come down and calibrate some things. I heard they did some upgrades up there is what possibly could be the delay, and some parts were an issue.
Okay.
So when that plant opens, we got 4 areas of water breaks to fix, Oak Crest, Cuba Heights Road, and I think there's another one here. So we'll get those done, and then we'll start, we'll get the trail paved up in Lansing Trails. There's just little odds and ends that we're finished up before we really start our hardcore summer work. The streetlights on Dart Drive, there was 2 things that I'm waiting on. One is to have the streetlights connection to NYSEG grid. We threw it under the old service notification number, and that had expired. We didn't know it, so they developed a new service notification number, and we got the Floyd's inspection in under that. And then NYSEG obviously had some storm damage, which there was some delays in getting them hooked up. I contacted the NYSEG line supervisor this morning, or yesterday, and he said that it was slated for next week, but he was going to try to get it done when the meter comes in. Apparently they have to order meters. So the speed signs, the 2 speed signs that were going to go up there, the wires got crossed again on that. I ordered it. I basically got an email confirmation from the guy, said shipping out today. This was in April 25th, I think it was. Well, come to find out, the town of Lansing ordered a sign too.
Same time.
He saw Lansing in there, and he says, so I had all the email chains saying I ordered it, and I'm like, well, where is it? And he's, again, got his wires crossed, and then finally he called me. He says, are you not the town of Lansing? I'm like, no. Look at the email thread. It basically spells it all out. So those signs he shipped out this week from the manufacturer. So they should be in. We'll get those corrected. I got to look at a streetlight at Wakefield Churchill area. Some resident stopped by Jody and asked about a streetlight there. I want to look because I thought we had one there. I just hadn't had a chance. And then there's another streetlight issue on St. Joseph Topka. It's the magnetic contactor in the box. The parts are just not, it's a 20 amp circuit. We actually upgraded it to a 40 amp a magnetic contactor, and it's still, they're not built like they used to be. Nothing that we're doing, it's just materials.
Just wear out?
Yeah, when the photo cell tells it to come on, a magnetic slams the contactors together, and it's contact, so after a while, they burn out on the electrodes when they make contact, so they work most of the time, but there's something about Jeff Diver over here walks his dog at 2:00 in the morning. He said sometimes they'll go on and off, and so he contacted me about that. That's really about it. I mean, I don't really have anything. Still working on a design for finishing up the design for the sidewalk improvement projects, and we should be getting that going. We did have a sewer meeting with the town of Lansing. We managed to get what we kind of wanted with the reduced pipe size.
Good.
And all that stuff.
Okay.
We made some recommendations since the path is through the dingleads.
Yes.
And back off the road. We brought up the idea of using some kind of a geogrid so you can drive a truck off-road and it still grows grass, so it supports the truck.
Low ground?
Yeah, it supports the trucks, but yet it'll grow grass like.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had them installed when Black Chin Boulevard went in down there. They made them on the access to all the retention ponds, since they're all the villages. We required them in there. It works good, so.
That's a good
That's for my
suggestion.
camper.
Oh, no kidding? How'd it work?
Well.
Good, awesome, great.
Good suggestion.
Yeah.
Generally, how do you feel those discussions are going? Or a lot more productive?
They're a little positive. I kind of mentioned there's still some resistance, and we need to get over that. The village is over it. Village of Cuba Heights is over it. But I mentioned that I was going to be going up there doing some periodic inspections, just stopping by and looking how things are going. And the town of Lansing basically said to us, that's if you're invited. Well, we're not invited. We're coming no matter what.
Right.
You know, so we want to see some light inspections. And since I explained it to them as they are our customer, and we have a right to do that as a customer to the village. It's in our rules and regulations.
Right.
So I'm treating them as a customer now,
Sure.
since they're paying us.
Okay, all right. Just if you get more resistance or more friction, let me know, and I will see what I can do from my side to.
It seems to be going okay, and they did pass the plans on to us. I just haven't had a chance to get right down into the nuts and bolts of it, but I will soon. So, any questions?
Let's see, I got an email notification late yesterday from NYSERDA that asked if I could provide them with information about the cost of our time and materials for replacing the old streetlights with LED. And I know that was done several years ago.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of ballpark? I mean, it doesn't have to be down to the nearest dollar or $100.
There was a little contractual time on the ones over on Janivar, Lansing Trails one, because they were live power.
Right.
And I didn't feel comfortable enough to be doing them.
Right.
We could have, but I just didn't want to. Yeah, I would say it was a couple days worth of work.
Okay. Translate that into, they want dollars.
Three guys, 24 hours, 48 hours for 2 days, 48 hours of conversions. 48 hours of conversions, and I think Jody would have the invoices for the LED conversions, the LED price if you need those, but.
Would you have a hard time finding those?
Who'd you buy them from?
Cooper Electric, but it might have been, who was before Cooper Electric? It was is it Friedman's? Friedman Electric. So check both of those companies. They're the same company, they just, the ownership name transferred.
Okay.
When do you think it was done?
I would say probably.
2023.
Well, about 3 years ago, maybe, 3 or 4 years ago.
2 to 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
21. It might have been somewhere after post-COVID.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if you both could just get me that.
I'm just gonna say 48 hours, and do you need money of hourly wages?
Yeah,
Okay, I have that.
okay. Yeah, just send it, and there's no hurry.
It's just simple, I just go back, Jody and I have developed a hourly wage schedule with some fringes in there, so we know what to bill insurance companies back.
Okay.
And apparently the reimbursement for the Craft Janivar, or Craft Road traffic signal
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
They put a dot after the .org, and they sent me a release and the W-9 form.
Didn't go through.
So it didn't come through, and so I've been calling her since, I think, Monday, and finally got through to her today, and she sent us the Outlook.
I saw it. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, I gotta get that release filled out, Jody's working on the W-9, and then,
Okay.
okay, thank you. I'll scan it in and
Okay.
send it back to him.
I have a few questions if you're.
Go ahead.
844 Cayuga Heights Road, that break, so did it break twice?
The water break?
Yeah.
844 is just north of
Oh.
Beckett Way,
okay,
right?
sorry. What's the one just south of Beckett Way?
Yeah, that's 8 something, maybe low 8s.
Okay, so did that break twice?
No, just
They've just
one.
broke the one time and that's completely done and you don't
Yeah.
anticipate anything else happening there? Okay.
No, I have to, I'm waiting on blacktop. I
That's
mean,
it.
we've been cold patching the holes and they've been settling and,
Okay.
you know,
I'm just wondering, with regard to the gas budget for the year, just
Mm-hmm.
the prices seem pretty reasonable, but did we budget for a more expensive gas supply? And is there a discrepancy that's going to be at all noticeable in the budget?
basically that all comes out of the 5110.4.
Yeah.
So it's just a,
Yeah, some years it'll be more, and then we'll spend more on other things. It's just all, they're contractual.
that
Are you noticing
one,
any kind of savings or not really?
Huh?
You noticing any savings this year?
I will have a report at the end of each year
Okay.
of how much we spend on gas.
Okay, just let me-
Like,
the 1 year when it was like 4 something.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
And now it's
That was crazy.
So can you just remind me what an auto flagger is?
It's the ones where you set them on each end of the work zone, and then the car comes up to the stop and the arm, and then one guy can run it with a remote.
And ours was
And-
broken, or we didn't have
We
one?
didn't have one,
Now
and we
do.
budgeted for that.
Okay. And last question is, could you give me some heads up, or have you been thinking about when you're gonna do, I don't know what you call it, the culvert clearing on Wedgewood?
Ditching,
Ditching, you call it?
yeah, yeah, it'll probably be a while.
Like a
This-
month or 2 months?
Oh,
3
yeah,
months?
yeah, this is the worst time to do any kind of ditching.
It just fills
Once you
right back
pull the
up.
sod out, and then you get a rain event,
Yeah.
and it scours the dirt even more, so
So in your head, you're thinking September?
probably, oh, yeah.
Or October?
Yeah,
So not.
September.
Not, okay, so I'll ask you that again in a couple months.
Yep.
Just so I can let people know. That's it from me, thanks.
Any other questions? You, all set? Anything?
Okay.
That's basically it for me.
Thanks, John. Mike?
Top priority since getting back is to go around and check on projects, make sure everything that's running, that we're up to date with photos, and I check that, catching up a lot with the framing inspections and that type of stuff. Also to all of the fire inspections I did for the R2s, make contact with them, see how they've made out as far as fixing items that, safety items that I've run into with them. I still have to do the Econo Lodge, so I would expect quite a few issues with that place. So that's kind of, I was able to answer emails while I was away, which helped when I got back, communicated to people that, we'll catch up when we get back, and the process is happening, let's just put it that way, so. I got back in time to do the Stabilola meeting in Shenango on Tuesday. It's mainly about energy code. The new cycle that's coming up, we did get into some of the aspects of what's coming in with the code changes. Some of the highlights would be energy code let me back up a second. The new cycle, they're looking to start at January 1st of 2026. That's it should have been started this year, but it's been delayed a year, mainly because there are a couple items still up in the air. But some of the, like I said, the energy code, it will be, if you're familiar with the stretch code, this year's stretch code, which you were able to, some municipalities were able to adopt, we didn't. That's going to be the new code for next year. So a lot of it is you're increasing insulation in the wall cavities, in the slab, and there's just, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good code. The things that they have requested to become, they want the buildings a lot tighter, so it's going to require more mechanical air bringing it in. Another part of next year's code will be any new buildings will now be required to be all electric. Be able to have propane heat, anything like that. And that's only going to be for single-family homes, duplexes. I think it's actually multi-family homes also. For commercial, new buildings for commercial are not, it's not going to happen until the following cycle. So they're kind of progressing into eliminating all fossil fuels.
Okay.
As far as new construction goes. And also the next cycle, well, with the new cycle coming up, if you have a gas furnace, you can replace it with a gas furnace. The next cycle coming up, if you have a gas furnace and you want to replace it, it has to be electric.
Okay.
So that's how they're.
What is the timeframe for the next cycle?
Next cycle will be 2028.
So a 2-year cycle then?
I guess we can take the gas moratorium comments out of the comp plan. That'd be totally irrelevant.
Yeah, at least until, the 2028 comes out, and you're not gonna be able to replace it with a gas.
So basically, no natural gas?
Is that whole New York State?
That'd be New York State.
It's crazy.
This is why I'm like,
See, the ICC International Code,
guess.
they come out with all these books and all these rules, and then New York State goes over them, and then they add their own, or they delete this out, and that is, I believe the 2028, where they want all electric for everything, is something New York State is putting in.
Right.
It's not the ICC. So that's,
Can I ask you a quick question? On normal electrical services for a house or 200 amp services, what I'm hearing around that 200 amp service isn't going to be enough. Doesn't that convert them all the way to like a commercial service, like a 400 amp service?
400 or 3-phase or something like that. It's gonna come to a point where the NFPA, your electrical code is gonna have to catch up. Electrical code is still the same from 2017.
But a demand service
Yeah.
is basically on demand. It can fluctuate your fees. The higher the demand, the automatic demand charge, NYSEG has a demand charge. And once you get to a certain point, then you're on a demand charge. Most of the houses that I've heard, and I've talked to quite a few people, the services, there's no available units in their breaker panels.
Yeah, well, take a look, let's say you've got a house from the 80s or so, and a lot of times there are 150 amp panels. And now they want to add, somebody wants to come in and put mini splits in. Well, now you're talking about, depending on how many compressors you have, you're gonna need 2 spots per compressor. If you get 2 or 3 compressors, your panel's not gonna be able to handle that. You have to upgrade the panel, which may require you to upgrade the service, which may require you to upgrade the line coming into the.
Yes. Yeah.
So
This is gonna be so expensive to people, they don't even realize. When I talked to Floyd about this is where they need to talk to people with hands on the ground, the boots on the ground. As Floyd's seen panels burn right up. I mean, they're just overloaded.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a mandate that it's not obtainable, I believe.
It's a problem. I mean, part of this next cycle also, you have to, if you put in a new system, your electrical, you have to have at least 2 spots open for a possible EV charger. You don't have to put the EV charger in, but you have to have spots open for it.
One other question I had for you is, so the sprinklers in the new code for the homes?
Makes sense.
Say that
I'm
again?
sorry.
There's still, no, that's fine, I was just gonna mention it.
I'm sorry.
Battling that, that's not positive yet, but that's another thing also that.
Sprinklers. and-
Sprinklers.
Yeah,
That's another thing, what about, it's fine if you're on municipal water, but what if you're on a well?
Yeah.
but
You have a holding tank, because you have to have so many gallons per minute, and if your well is not, can't handle that.
yeah, but even on municipal though, most of the lines in the village are 3/4 inch. And since a certain time era, they went to 1 inch. Like, that's tough, and what 3/4 inch line is tough.
Plenty ain't gonna handle,
No.
most cases won't.
And then now you'll have to have a room that you had in your office to have a storage tank there to handle the sprinkler system.
It's probably mandated by Long Islanders, because where I grew up, it's a sandbar, so everybody had, the whole island has sprinklers. And then I came up here and no one had sprinklers, and I was like, that's
Kinda
so
cool.
weird. Then I realized you don't need them.
But sprinklers also have.
You're talking about internal ones, but I'm saying everyone has the external
Sprinklers have to be
ones.
inspected, right?
What?
Uh-huh.
Unless they change it around, you have a sprinkler system.
I think the people at this table, the board and other municipalities should be canvassing, lobbying against the legislators and all the people at the state, because this is gonna get bad.
That's what we're doing as far as code officials. We had a joint letter, Stabola is writing a letter. We don't want this whole sprinkler system issue, because that is going to be, it's just gonna progress into more and more problems, or more expense, and it's gonna kill the housing market. It's just, that's,
Yeah, it is contrary to everyone's grand plans of creating housing and, affordable, not,
Not affordable anymore.
well, I don't mean, I
Not that
mean,
it
things
is
that
right
people
now.
can afford, I don't mean,
but, it's not set in stone to put that in there.
the gas is enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna come about.
That's enough to make things super expensive.
Yeah, and you're right, that is the big thing, is people that have existing 150 amp services, it's gonna be really tough to upgrade anything.
I mean, you're talking $10,000 for a do-it-yourself kind of heat pumps, somewhere in that line, or a little bit more. Now you gotta put another $5,000 or $6,000 into a electrical service upgrade. It's a lot of stress on a family.
Or even if you can find somebody to do it for you.
Yeah, and then the contract, I was just thinking, my post-retirement gig, you and I,
Electrical upgrading?
If that's your plan, just a word of advice, that's not retirement.
sorry, Mike.
It's not the old,
Well, it's gonna get even worse when it comes to commercial.
yes.
Not this cycle, but the next cycle. When it comes to commercial, you can't replace, you've got commercial buildings that have run off of gas or propane, the whole system runs off of that. Now, you can have a backup generator that runs off of gas or whatnot. They're not taking that away from you.
But a lot of the stuff that's in a person's, in commercial or residential is on a slab on grade is underneath the concrete. And when you have to upgrade that system, now you have to find a path, right? A raceway. It could get real expensive.
Yeah, it will.
So I'll keep you more up to date on this as we go along.
Right. If
Crunch time.
SOA thinks that it would be beneficial for the municipalities to also kick in, could you ask someone up there to provide us a boilerplate template for resolution we could pass?
We talked about getting some support from the municipalities, our own municipalities, to write letters or a joint letter, but we're seeing how, the electric thing, I don't think it's gonna help. But sprinkler system, yes, it might, but right now, we're still waiting to see which way they're leaning, the state is leaning on this, so.
Well, I think we could write a letter saying, oh, and by the way, when you're asking your customers to upgrade and use more electricity, shouldn't you as a state press the providers to upgrade the infrastructure so that you can support the people who are going to need it?
But you're only talking a few providers. You have NYSEG, you have National Grid. I mean,
Oh, I know.
it's not like, I mean, the system is an issue.
No, it's just a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And the state has the authority to come into those providers and say, you will spend money on X number of your dollars for improving the infrastructure by this date. They have the authority. We can't do that.
Well, they better start doing that right now.
I know. So that's what I'm saying, is if,
I wanted to report, real quick on that. I was contacted by NYSEG yesterday. They're gonna be doing some tree trimming around the village on the three-phase line, so DART and stuff like that. When I asked him to send me an email of the roads he's gonna be doing, so I'll send it all out to you. But just so you know, my concern is, when they did this a few years ago, they had like a lollipop tree, and then they cut a hole.
cut a V. Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be getting calls like
Yep.
crazy, so I'll send that out when.
Here's my recommendation. Deborah and I did this many years, and it worked every time. If you're there, you've got to be there, and they start coming down the street, you go out with a pad and a pen, say, what is your supervisor's name? Get the supervisor's name. We want a professional arborist to do the trimming. So do not cut our tree. We will contact an arborist to do this. But you have your supervisor call us and tell us that that's okay. They went by and nothing ever happened. So we had a professional arborist come in, and they did a better job, because they don't like it. It's hard work and it's expensive, but you don't lose your tree.
I've explained to them that we have some very, very, very smart people in the village that know their easements inside and out, and one perfect example, I think, was Larry Beer. In his easement, they could clear a 10-inch space around the wire, was it? A 10-inch space, and they bully their way a lot of times and say, we're gonna clear a 10-foot space around that wire. I love power, so I like to have cleared.
Yeah.
I mean, so, I mean, I like electric, I mean,
No, I
it's
get
great,
you, I
it's
get
so cheap, you know what I mean, and think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll be, I'll send as much information, but it's gonna be bad for a while.
Yeah.
People get upset with their trees being touched.
Sure.
When we find out too, we should do a siren.
No, that's a good idea.
What's that?
When we find out, we should do a siren announcement.
Oh, yeah, that too, and the way the contract is written, the contractor has to notify every resident they'll be trimming. So they're gonna get double notified that way too.
Fine.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
More's better.
Yeah.
Mike, what else?
Few other things. Planning board they approved there's like a daycare educational facility that went in at the Llama building down here.
Great.
It's one of the areas I need to go down and check. They only had to move a few walls, but they had a play, the biggest part of that discussion was they had a play area to the south of that building, and it was gonna be fenced in, and planning board was concerned that it might be a little bit too close to, North Trip Hammer and the sidewalk, that you had people looking at. Everybody didn't want you peeping in on the kids and whatnot. So, but the planning board did a really good job requiring a 6-foot privacy fence. And so I have to go down there and check on that. I do have a meeting Monday with the second East Point group. They wanted to discuss a few items. They wouldn't tell me what it was. It's been a while since we've really heard from them. Before, they were pushing to get on the planning board as quick as they could, and now they've missed, say, 3 or 4 planning board meetings, so I don't know what's up with that. So when I do find out if it's anything drastic or anything, I'll send out an email to the trustees after the meeting on Monday. And the last item was, I think at the last Thursday meeting, I asked your permission for an appearance ticket for the mall, for their potholes. They since haven't done anything. I called, got an appearance ticket, and then after speaking with Natalie, she advised that I give them another 30 days. Because she felt that a judge would look at it and say, well, you're only giving somebody 30 days to get some paving done. It's a busy time of year. They might not get someone in there. Which did make sense, because the judge obviously doesn't know past history of what goes on with the village and the mall.
Besides, it's Peter Grossman, no?
One of the two.
I think he knows.
So I issued another 30-day before I left.
Well, with what John said about the,
The plant's not being open.
they could always fall back and say, we just couldn't get the blacktop. So I think that's,
And the weather.
and the weather stuff, yeah, so.
So I did speak with Beth the other day, because we had to talk about this fair, circus, whatever you call it over here. I had to walk through all of that, make sure there's no, I'm double checking this time, because I wasn't here last time.
You were in Alaska again, wasn't you?
So they have their facilities out back, or their living facilities out back, and so I walked through the whole thing with Beth to make sure there was no water being discharged out onto,
Yeah.
you know, the pavement, because that's.
It all goes downhill, and you know who's downhill? Carolyn.
So I will continue to go out and double check that. They do have gray water tanks that they pump their hoses into. What they do with that gray water tank is what I want to make sure that.
Yes.
Oh, the follow through. Yeah.
And I told Beth I would, if I'm out at night, I'll swing over there at night, because that's usually when things happen. And,
What would we look for, say if I were back there, what would I look for, Mike?
That's being really green, stink.
No, I mean, but what would you, how would I, as just a normal person, spot something that,
if you were, let's say you were to drive down by where we have the new bridge and everything down there, if you see, let's say a garden hose with some discharge coming out of it,
illicit discharge into the,
let me know. Even if,
Smell, soapy, sudsy water on
yeah,
the road.
that's the stuff we.
I'm sure I can make it pass by them all.
You could take a little walk up that nice path from Shannon Park after you visit Carolyn.
Okay,
Technically, they should have their living trailers up here, and then they should have their gray water tanks down below and everything running into that,
and nothing out of those tanks.
and nothing coming from those tanks.
Okay.
What are the dates? Dates?
Date,
When will they be leaving?
This weekend, isn't it?
Sunday is their last day, so, you know,
When do they start this? Friday? Today?
Yeah,
Today.
I saw a Ferris wheel.
yeah, they got all of our health, all the food trucks got their health department certificates, and Department of Labor was in to check them.
And I'm glad they actually are doing this now, Department of Labor and the village and all this stuff, because there was some sketchy stuff years ago.
So it's not, the event is under our village code, but everything else is basically state handled with the Department of Labor with these, like I said, in the health department, that type of stuff. So yes, I sent out that 30-day before I left, so we'll keep following up on that. But that's pretty much what I have at this point. Anybody have any questions on anything going around?
Anything else from the K-House request? Have you got any more?
About my, the oversight committee, that type of stuff on me?
Yes, yeah, have you heard anything?
Yeah, I spoke with one of the oversight people yesterday. He said that they're gonna wrap up their case. He kind of gave me a hint that there really wasn't much there.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. What happened with Chaos?
The owner of K House is in the middle of a legal dispute with the owner of the building over, the owner of K House is finding anything she possibly can to write the owner up, and I guess she's holding back money for rent and whatnot, and they're got a court case going on, it's gotten quite ugly. So what she has done is try to find just about everything she can that's wrong.
Right.
She's called the Labor Department to have.
Oh, that was, she was the one who called
come
on
in,
you?
and then they also called the Department of State Oversight Committee on me.
Oh, I didn't realize that was her, okay.
And I get at least 8 to 10 emails a day, and it's usually about the same things. And I'm handling it just like I would handle everything else.
Okay.
I'm getting the feeling after talking with Dominic Lamont yesterday from the Oversight Committee that he'll just have some recommendations for us. He'd like in a couple of weeks to have a discussion with me and either you, or if you're not here, maybe Carolyn, my supervisor, to just go over some items. I don't see this being an issue.
Okay. Suggestions?
Like I said before, I had spoken with Marty about it, and Marty was more upset about it than I was. He goes, they have no right to do this. They accuse you of something, but don't read you any of your Miranda rights or anything like that. You're getting accused of something here.
Yes.
So
Yeah, prove you didn't.
it's just,
No.
I don't see much coming from it.
Okay, all right.
Good.
Except that we're gonna lose another unique business.
This person who put in this complaint has already gone after another municipality's. They're saying that she would have his job.
What?
Yes. There's been a history.
It's not even that old, okay.
Are they still actively doing business out of this place?
While claiming that it's a dangerous place to be.
Well, still allowing customers inside to pay money. Okay. Sorry you're going through it, Mike. If there's anything we can do, it may have to be Carolyn since I'll be out of town, so just be prepared to listen to suggestions. It doesn't sound like,
I'm gonna say, we would advise you to do this maybe a little different, or this meeting, they gotta do something.
I'll join, it's fine.
just listen and take notes, and we'll implement it best we can.
I had said, well, then I'll have to have our village lawyer be, well, no, you don't really need your village lawyer. Okay.
I think we get to decide that, not them.
Well, in this case, I'd have both.
Yeah. True.
And just an update, my Realtor friends tell me that the East Point North property is back on the market.
Oh, no.
My trusted forever Realtor friends.
Is that the same location of the new East Point, or is that a different lot spot?
It's listed. I don't know how it's listed, if it's,
Did you see my question?
I do.
Is that where East Point 2 would
Oh,
be built?
yes.
So there's,
That property's relisted.
That's what I understand from my trusted inside
maybe that's what they wanted to
sources.
tell you.
I'll know more Monday.
But it's, and I
why
don't
I
know
haven't
who
been
owns it at this point. I don't know who the listing agent is. I don't have all my,
Well, their offer was contingent on the build, from my understanding, for Borg Warner. I don't think they bona fide purchased it, though.
see, I don't know all the details, and that's what always bothers me. I need the listing, I need to know the Realtor, I need to be able to call them. How's it listed, what are the contingencies? But one of the contingencies was cleaning up the lot lines, if I remember correctly.
Well, as soon as I find out Monday, I'll
So it's a question.
email.
Thanks, Mike. Are there any other questions for Mike?
I thought of another one for John, if that's
Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
I just noticed in here that you've got the chevron signs for Kega Heights Road, so thank you for that. What kind of signs did you wind up? How many did you get?
I think there was 6 total signs. There was a couple school zone, or pedestrian crossing signs for Dart Drive, but there was 4, I think.
So what are you doing for Kega Heights Road?
Putting the 4 up there,
And they're,
2 in each direction.
okay. All right,
I mean, I really want to dig down into it and see how many I really need in there, because there's not much line of sight approaching either direction. It's
Okay.
pretty sharp,
okay, great,
so.
that's appreciated.
Anything else for Mike or John? Okay, Jody?
The tax bills have gone out, so I've had a lot of people stopping in to pay their bills. There was a problem at the assessment department where they printed the bills with not the updated owners from the last year. So I've had a lot of people calling saying, I got a bill and I sold the house a year ago, might get their name. And so my list I have on my computer has the right names, but the tax bills went to the wrong places. So that's been a little bit of a fiasco trying to get that worked out and get everybody their new bills,
I bet
so.
there's gonna be people who come back to us with like a fee, and then we have to waive it next year, because they didn't get the bill.
Well, I can, as it gets closer, send another bill out, plus I have the sign out there already. It says taxes are due by July 1st. So I'm a little proactive, making sure that's up there anytime we're down. Don't have meetings, so
And Jody also said the law states that you're
it's your
responsible.
responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yeah, John said it happened over in his
Yeah. It happened to me, actually.
municipality.
Okay.
I would be surprised if every single one gets.
Same, and Village Cougar Heights had the same problem. So I don't know who else, but
Maybe send an email out to our village email list, letting people know, too. Mike,
I have, my first request is I sent a request to Jay to see if he can give me a list.
okay,
Because a lot of them come back in the mail,
right.
so I can then take that, compare it to my
Compare
list,
it.
see if it's different, and then send a new bill out. I've sent a lot of new bills out. So
All right.
Like how many approximately?
probably about 30
That's a lot.
so far. Yeah. But, so, that's fun.
Yes.
I heard from Ruth Groff, the town of Lansing supervisor. She's been in email contact with Ronnie and I regarding the Lansing Cherry Warren, how it's billed for sewer O&M. And it is very unclear in the agreement as to how the sewer bill is being billed. So that needs to be clarified when we do update the agreement.
Right,
Okay?
Yeah.
Just make sure that we say it's based on consumption instead of the water
yeah.
billing. She thinks that switching to that method will be consistent with the intermunicipal agreement and would not have a material impact on the revenue. I agree with that. It'd be easier to create the invoice to Town Lansing just by having a number rather than having to do a whole spreadsheet of every individual parcel. Jesse over at the town actually plugged the numbers in from the Village Cougar Heights, and their bill would have been about $200 more with this invoice, so. It's all the same, it's just, we just need to have it clarified how we're billing. So you'll notice that there's 2 sets of abstracts. 13 goes along with anything that was purchased before May 31st in last year's budget, and 1 starts with anything that's in June. So that's why they're separate, because what my accounting program will do is it will take the abstract 13 and load it in as accounts payable. So then it makes it so much easier.
Okay.
So we'll have everything in the right year. So would you guys like to approve the vouchers?
Did everyone have a chance to look through the vouchers? Okay, I will move that we approve the June vouchers.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussions, questions? All those in favor of approving the vouchers, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Okay.
And would you guys like to approve the minutes from June 2nd? I sent them, I did do cut and paste the whole chapter 78 per Kathleen's request, which added about 15 pages to the minutes, but, so that was the only difference, and then little typos that you guys sent, so.
I will move that we approve the June 2nd draft minutes.
Second.
Susan seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And my next question is, since there's only 3 trustees at the meeting on Monday, and I have no agenda items, would you guys like to cancel that meeting? Give me my birthday off.
That we cancel the meeting.
I'll second. Any discussion about canceling the meeting? Concerns?
Concerns. We're not doing our job if we're not meeting, even though the mayor is gone. But
We don't have any agenda items. If we had agenda items,
Yes,
we would
no,
meet, but we don't.
just for the record.
Yeah, there was, the 20 Bomax said they would like to have a meeting again because they have another plan. And so I told them that the next time our whole board is here is not till July 21st.
Good
So-
job.
That's the joint meeting, right?
Yeah, and that is the joint meeting.
Oh, well,
I don't
that's,
think that we'll have time at that meeting to discuss 20 Bomax.
So I haven't given them a date or anything,
Okay.
but that's the next, I told them that that's the next time we have a meeting. So it's pretty much kind of in Mike's court whenever wants to talk to them or whatever.
July 21st? We have another one before July 21st, don't we?
Yes, but he's not here.
We could have 20 Bomax at that meeting.
If you wanted to, yeah, I don't have to be here.
Okay. I mean, I can tell them.
Because I think
Mike
the
can tell them.
21st is going to be too busy. 7th, you're talking
For
about?
August.
You're gonna meet and listen to it, I guarantee you're not gonna take any action, right? So is that a waste of their time having them come?
It's a waste of less people's time if there's less people here.
Okay.
I like that.
I vote yes.
Well, if they want to come back with something,
I'm not suggesting that they be on the agenda for the 7th, but there are a lot of things to discuss before the joint meeting, like the comp plan draft, et cetera.
I think the intention is to discuss the comp plan draft at the 21st meeting.
And
I'm happy to take comments on an ongoing basis.
everybody should be sending their comments now. Like not waiting until the meeting to do it. Or if you see typos or whatever, get them to her now. Don't waste time at the meeting. Let us have substantial talk.
Yeah, I tried to indicate that in the email.
I think you did.
Despite
I got
my
that.
typos. Despite my typos, sorry about that, guys.
it's okay.
And I do remember, though, that we had said that we would have an informal discussion with the trustees
Okay.
prior to that joint meeting, so
that
that's
too.
an agenda item.
Okay, he won't be here.
Okay, well, we could start.
That's okay.
It's okay. He has 6 months after these 2 meetings to.
Doesn't mean it cannot be tweaked
Everything's
after.
going to be tweaked
Oh,
up until December, so, yeah, we can
Okay.
start working it out.
Yeah.
I'll put
Okay.
that on the agenda for the 7th. I will not be here, just so you know.
So 20 Pro Max is gonna be on the 7th?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, on the
Yeah,
7th.
July 7th, yes.
July 7th.
Are you going to be here?
I might better be here if not.
Yeah.
Awesome, you could be Ronnie.
That's going to be your job.
Okay.
No,
Two Ronnies.
computer.
Two
But you can always delegate.
Two Ronnies.
Hopefully, Mike, you will get a look at those new plans and get us out. I will have my computer with me, but I can't guarantee I'll have connection when it comes, so.
Yeah, I'll contact Alex, tell him about it, and then I'll CC you on it, Jody, so you can put it on the
Okay.
agenda if we have
Perfect.
to. And then tell him that he's not gonna have the full board there. If it'd be his choice whether he doesn't wanna show up then or, but you don't want him at the joint meeting, correct?
There is nothing that you all have discussed that I have disagreed with. We're all on this, pretty much the same track. You know what to look for, what the problems are, so just keep going. And don't backtrack, at least not formally.
Backtracking.
No back
The 7th?
on the 7th.
So you can either have July 7th or you can wait till August.
Yeah.
And that's generous. Hoping he comes back with something different.
Okay, did we actually vote on canceling the 16th?
Yep.
Okay, all right, let's make sure. All right. And it's discuss, and thanks for working on the discussion with how to bill the town. Whatever is easiest and most efficient, even if we lose a little bit of money, we've doubled what we're asking them to pay. So I think that we're okay. If you're comfortable with it, Jody.
It's gonna be close.
Okay.
It's twice as much money than we received before, so it's like 30-some thousand versus 16.
Yeah. So we might be off, 0.5% or something, but let's just, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, anything else for Jody? Did I do? No. Okay. Carol?
Okay, well, we already talked a little bit about the comprehensive plan, so I've sent it to everybody as a Google Doc. So all you have to do is write comments, and, if you have non-substantive comments, just email me and say, I put some things in, and I can just go in and change those easily, like you found a typo, or there's something wrong. Factually, I've checked everything I think that you two would have an input on with you individually, so I don't think that either of you would have any factual changes to make, but maybe there's something. But hopefully, we've gone through that, and Jody's been working with us the whole time, so I think all of her factual changes are already also been incorporated. But also substantive comments, just go ahead and add them to the document. If it's too cumbersome and you want to talk it through with me, just call me. That's also totally fine. I think the more that we can get kind of ironed out before that meeting. I want that meeting to be as efficient as everybody else wants it to be. So I'm happy to talk to you personally or email with you, just, reach out with any kind of comments that you have. The rec partnership met on Tuesday. The long and short of it, I'll end with the conclusion, is that the budget for the next year was approved, and it will be approximately $1,000 more than we paid this year, which was just under $22,000. So we'll talk about just under $23,000. Procedurally, I wasn't crazy with how things went down, which was, they normally have a meeting where they present some options. So we had a meeting where they asked us what we wanted to present, and we wanted them to present both maintenance of effort, and then also, what do you guys think? What programs are working, what aren't working, where should we make changes? Then they had the meeting both with those two presentation options, and no time at all for me to come back to you guys and say, this is what I think we should do. And basically, they were like, well, okay, your one vote, because I kind of objected to the timeline of it, and they said, well, the county's changed the timeline, they moved it up by us by 2 weeks, so now we don't have any time to give you that option. And they were all willing to vote just without me, and I could abstain. So I didn't. I voted with them everywhere else. But the long and short of it is, maintenance of effort was going to cost about 4% more. Maintenance of effort plus changes was 4.8% more. So that's what got voted in. They did a good job of looking through their program and say, these programs all had a wait list. We're going to add here. These ones, the fees are just really not covering the program. We're going to increase the fees here. We're going to cut these ones that aren't functioning. And then doing everything they wanted only cost 8% more than just maintaining effort due to rising employee costs. So they actually did a really good job. For next year, I've already expressed that I want the information in advance, because as a village, we like to collaborate. And even though I'm elected the representative or appointed the representative of the group, the way we operate as a village is more collaborative. I want to be able to come back to them and have a presentation. And so that's going to be what they'll do next year, even if the county does the same thing, which is asks for the money before, which is what happened this time. They asked for all the information. I guess usually the deadline is July 1st, and then they moved it up somehow to June 20th, and then we wound up losing a week of meeting time.
That may be due to the new county administrator.
Yes, that is what happened.
So.
Yes, it's okay. I mean, it's not a huge big deal, but at the same time, it'd be nice for me to have a chance to come back and share with you before,
Yeah, so
before
next
the
year,
vote.
they'll need to work on the assumption that they'll do the same thing.
No, the county will do the same thing,
County will
yes.
do the same
But the rec partnership is not gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
We already
yeah,
told them
yeah.
that we want that extra week
Good.
where I go back and discuss with you. So anyway, that's done. And then the final thing is Mike and I met with the Business and Tech Park, and we said, here's a code of uses. There's 8 to 10 things on this list that the village has absolutely no problem not, allowing in this neighborhood. It's just like a clinic, for example. It's just 8 to 10 uses. And it was collaborative insofar as we could just change those things. We don't need their permission to change the zoning, but we asked them, how do you feel about these? And they said, yeah, these sounds pretty reasonable to us, but we want to just think about it for a minute. So we're like, okay, we're not in a rush. The biggest limiting factor is going to be that they have, so they're the owners of the property, and then they have these design elements which limit what somebody can do. And those design elements are basically like, this is a 5-acre parcel and there's a factory in the middle. And so their own personal design guidelines are extremely limiting. So what they really need to do is go and edit those and update those for the changes that they want to see. One interesting thing is that because the B&T Park is zoned for 45 feet as opposed to 35 feet, if we allow them to do high-density residential, they can actually go to 45 feet, which I actually don't have a problem with. If they created some sort of pocket neighborhood that was more dense than other places and could actually sustain mixed use, I could picture something really wonderful there.
Can you do that if you're by an airport?
There are height
There's
limitations.
restrictions about, and residential too. I don't know that you can have residential that close to an
The
airport.
Interesting, we didn't think about it
The
from that
FAA
perspective.
has guidelines.
Because they do have
Interesting.
strict, yeah.
There's a circumference.
High zone.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, that would be too bad, because that's kind of what we're thinking about doing, so we'll have to look that into a bit. But just in terms of changing, like I said, like allowing a clinic, allowing a restaurant, there's a lot of things that like we as the village would have no trouble.
A restaurant would put a lot less stress on Dart Drive. When there was a lot of people up there working, they would come down Dart Drive and through Bomax and stuff like that, just to get something to eat.
Yeah,
So when they had the blue something up there, it was a little eatery.
Yeah.
They actually took a lot of less stress on our roads.
yeah, so there's things that are, I was like, you guys, we're all on the same, like, it's a win-win for both of us
Yeah.
if we can lift some of these code restrictions. And so we, and one thing I wanted to mention to you, Ronnie, is that Mike had said that you wanted a presentation from the planning board with all the code changes at once. What I would recommend is actually, if we do get 5 to 10 from the B&T park, that we just take care of that separately.
Oh, yeah, that can be a separate
Okay,
thing.
yeah, that's what we thought.
That's a different
You would say?
animal.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a different
That's what I thought, okay.
It's a park, it's a
Just
park.
know that every time you do a law, you have to advertise it in the paper, costs money,
Public hearing.
and the lawyer has to go through it also, that
Okay.
takes money, just,
Yeah.
that's why you try to get as many as you can into one.
Okay, I just think that if the B&T park has a couple, it's just would be
There are a couple.
faster and easier to do that section of the code, because I do think the planning board is gonna take some time with the rest of the sections. But we'll see, it's just, we're still waiting to hear back from them. We had met last week, I think in 2 weeks, they're gonna say, we like this option, this option, this option, and, like I said, we don't need to take their recommendations, we could change any aspects of it that we want, but.
I think they'd be concerned, they'd be concerned about the aesthetics up there, because they have a certain look that they want, so you
Yeah, I think they don't want that look anymore.
McDonald's in there or something like,
No, but they don't want that look anymore.
yeah,
They,
they don't care about the.
they want to change their look. Their look is very industrial, and they want to move towards something more, because even, remember that
Mixed-use
woman who
type.
came with her grand plans for a dermatology office, remember years ago, it was like $1 million.
McAllister?
office. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh,
I mean, I think
yeah.
they want more like that than like what it looks like now, which is like a box built in the 80s. So I think they want to change their own design.
I mean, there's other simple things, like you're talking about traffic, people, they come down here to get food or whatnot, we don't allow food trucks up there, something simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, food truck.
So,
You see it quite common, like over in Cornell, food trucks in certain areas have a little bit more parking lot, food trucks.
The quality of the
Food
food
truck on the
trucks is
code of
gone.
uses?
I'm sorry?
Food truck's not even on the code of uses, is it?
You can have food trucks only in commercial high traffic. It's the only place you can have food trucks.
Is it on the code of uses, though? Because I don't
No,
remember.
it's on the special use, there's a list that has special uses, like special events, food trucks, that type of stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest that one. Yeah, okay, that's it from me.
Thank you, Carolyn. Susan?
Nothing for me, nobody has met. Except I did go to the Bolton Point and announced I wasn't an engineer. So Don Hartill was well remembered.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, he was
He went to
a
everything.
pillar down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good group of people.
Anything else, Susan?
Nope.
Kathleen?
Let's see, there was no planning board meeting on the 9th because it was canceled, so nothing to report there. The Conservation Advisory Council for the town, their meeting was on the 4th and in person. And it was really just an update on going from a council to a board, and there were concerns raised by the planning department that it would delay the process even further if they got input from the advisory council, even as a board. And then from the board, from the council chair, concerns about just capacity and availability of resources. So they're going to informally meet with the town of Ithaca because they do have a board instead of a council, just to get additional information. Then there was discussion about designating critical environmental areas in the town. They raised concerns about just the percentage of land agricultural land that'll be going to solar. And no July meetings, next meeting is August 6th. And then on the 11th, there's a series of NICOM webinars on clean water and wastewater.
Did you attend that?
I'm sorry?
Did you attend that?
I did.
Oh, the 11th?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah, the one yesterday.
Yeah,
I saw
so there's a whole series of June and July. Let's see, the 25th will be on the forever chemicals, and the compounds that are in the wastewater treatment. What are the issues, the challenges with disposal of the sludge that is concentrated? So it'll deal with wastewater treatment. What's in that? Let's see. Forever chemicals, it's the polyfluoroalkyl substances, and the 1,4-dioxane.
I was wondering, because I saw that they were still in our, but I didn't attend. Did they mention anything that people use on their lawns for fertilizer that is one of those chemicals that we should consider banning?
Pesticides, there's a whole slew of sources for both of these contaminants, and it's pervasive. So stormwater, when it runs off, it's in your wastewater, the effluent that goes out. It's in the biosolids that sometimes get spread in agricultural fields. So another area, because it's in firefighting foam, so when you have firefighting training facilities, you'll have the soil contamination, and then that runs off. Just because they weren't aware of the dangers back when.
I guess my question
And
is
airports,
something that
de-icing, et
we
cetera.
can do as a municipality. Is there low-hanging fruit in terms of chemicals that we could ban application of? Specifically, I'm thinking of lawn fertilizer chemicals. Because I don't want to ban like firefighting foam, because it has another greater purpose, but other chemicals that you know about?
So, yeah, actually,
I'm not sure.
I don't think.
I'm not saying banning, but there's room for public education to just increase
Try to use
awareness.
less.
Yeah, this room would be full. Couldn't get another person in this building. If you ban fertilizers and stuff out there, like, everybody uses True Green.
That's my target. Those are my
Yeah.
target audience.
Yeah.
Most brilliant campaign ever, changing your name from ChemLawn to True Green.
Anyway,
So,
raising awareness and educating the public is probably the way to go.
Yes.
But if you're contracting with Chem Green /
True, exactly. We just call it Chem Green.
The recording will be available as well as the PowerPoint, and they did provide an overview of both the financial impact as well as the public health impact. So, I mean, I can go through that.
The
if you want.
other side of that is all of those chemicals that get into the stormwater go right into the lake. And we're going to pay lots and lots and lots more money down the road trying to extract all of those from our drinking water.
And the retroactive liability issue is a concern, and how you define hazardous in terms of parts per million, parts per billion for the dioxides. So those are all things to be aware of. So they just went over options for protecting the municipality, as well as, your local economy, et cetera. And just the challenges and costs with wastewater treatment plants. Because what works for a filter will work for the PFAS. That does not work for the dioxin. It's a different treatment method. So there's a lot of things to just be aware of.
It'd be interesting to see if, what Bolton Point does, if they already do that. than being worried about something that they already
Right.
take care
They're
of.
working hard on that PFAS.
Yeah.
PFAS is huge, and then charcoal filters down the road, and it's,
Your single-use plastics that are unnecessary, those wrappings that are pervasive, that you use for 30 seconds, the unnecessary, yeah, I mean, you're always going to have plastic, you're always going to need things for medical purposes, et cetera, but just, again, raising awareness that there are ways to limit exposure and things you can do, but it's a lot.
that's why we don't allow plastic water lines in the village or in Bolton Points District. We have to use cement line ductile iron pipes. And a lot of the municipalities are going to all plastic pipe. And that PFAS is gonna be a huge problem down the road.
Yeah. But that's that. Let's see, June 25th, though I said was the wastewater treatment plant focus. July 9th is going to be the harmful algae blooms, what some of the causes are, impacts on economy, recreation, et cetera. Not to mention health, when you get the toxins. Not all of them have toxins, but when they do, you close beaches, et cetera. 23rd is the New York Freshwater Wetlands Act, an overview of the DEC's authority, the revised regulation update, implementation timeline, impact on development, land use, and permitting process, so that should be an interesting one. What else? Oh, climate smart communities, Ronnie. The village was certified and got notification.
Did I send everyone that email? Okay, they asked if it not be official yet, but unofficially, we have been certified bronze.
Sorry.
Okay.
So we will.
So I shouldn't have said anything.
No, that's okay. Yeah, the two people that watched the video will know. So we will get signs to put out on our property to show we're certified. We can advertise on our website and do anything we want to that we're certified, so.
Anything we want.
No.
We can put a notification on our stationery, so we can put whatever we want to do, so, anyway.
And then the New York State Consolidated Funding applications are open. However, it's the July 31st deadline.
No pressure.
It only takes about 10 minutes to do
Right.
that, right?
Right, you should see the packet. Other upcoming meetings, the Environmental Management Council is June 12th, so there's been no meetings in the interim. Water Resource Council,
It's today, the 12th, June 12th.
yeah, I know, tonight. So I haven't been yet. So this, the 16th is the County Water Resource Council, and there's a presentation by the Soil and Water Conservation District staff. Agriculture and Environmental Management and beyond. So if anyone's interested. The focus is going to be, and then the 17th is the Core Advisory Group, and Sue Ruff, she's the Advocacy Director, Southern Tier Independent Center, and chairperson for the State Independent Living Council on disabilities. The focus is going to be on the impact of flooding on people with disabilities.
Are you attending all these meetings? Okay.
Do.
And the 18th is the town board. And
That's how she knows everything.
No, I don't know anything. When you go to these things, you realize how little
Okay,
you
you know a lot.
And
You know a lot, my
you
friend.
know less and less and less.
You realize how much you've done.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, yeah, that's it.
Kathleen?
Just going back to the B&T meeting for a second with regard to wastewater.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about the restriction on airports and residential, so assuming that somehow they do have some space where they could put residential, I told them that the limiting factor by far is going to be sewer access. And I told them about the three options for plans: bypass, update the plan to build a new plan. What I'm telling you right now is that if they were to be able to build residential and there were not sewer lines available, they would be an excellent ally towards achieving one of those three goals, or three of those goals, all three of those goals. You know, as part of Cornell and as connecting with Piga Heights, they were interested in ways that sewer can be obtained. It would be nice to have another group involved in that project.
How to expand the capacity of wastewater treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we discussed that at the meeting.
Okay, good. Any questions for Kathleen? Okay, I have a couple of topics. I was reading through our website, and our procedures for utilizing video conferencing law expired on the 24th, in July 2024. I've asked Natalie to check on, I found the only formal reference I found to that law being extended was in a Committee on Open Government, New York State, and in one of their slides, they say this provision was extended in the 2024-2025 state budget and will be in effect until July 21st, 2026. It is, unless extended by the legislature, they always put that in. So that, I asked Natalie to check on that, because I searched through the state budget and I found nothing that said that. So I don't know if it's an appendix or what's going on.
They sent out a message and told us that they were extending it.
Okay, so we need to update our procedure. So do we need to do a vote for that, Jody, do you think?
Just to change the date?
Just to change the date that will be in effect until.
26.
We're changing a procedure related to a
Well, we have,
law?
yeah, of course we have to.
Okay.
If it's a law, we have to change you have to do a formal law.
But we don't have it
I
in the law.
think it's the
just a
state
procedure.
did that, and yeah.
Yeah, we would just need to say that the state would allow. So I was just going to propose that we update that procedure to say it would be in effect until 2026. So if that's okay with everyone, we can do it.
Maybe our current procedure is that we are just acting in accordance with state law, in which case we don't have to adopt it. We should see what our language is.
Just
Yeah, I'll
remove
look at it.
remove it and say that it will be, in effect until ended or not extended by the legislature. We could just take out a date. That's a good suggestion
See what
too.
ours says.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my first topic. I just do a couple of things from the Bolton Point meetings, Southern Cayuga Lake Intermunicipal Water Committee. They're coming up on the 50th anniversary of that plant next June or July, so they're going to have an event planned for that. So we'll be getting some information about that. Also, Steve Riddle, manager of Bolton Point plant, is proposing that they open a 6-week summer BOCES student intern position. And they're going to try to bring in a student to kind of give them the basics of how a water treatment plant works. They won't be doing anything formal or official within the plant, but they'll kind of be helping with landscaping and stuff outside, but they do want to train them. They found that there were several students, they had a demonstration event over at BOCES where that several groups of students would come through and they would show them how to disassemble and reassemble a fire hydrant. And they had the kids do it, and which was a lot of fun. But they also, I thought it was very interesting, they laid in some dummy lines below ground so that they could train some of the students on how to use equipment or how to dig around those lines. Well, I thought it was really good, and the kids were just eating this stuff up. So we have an up-and-coming a crop of potential people who are willing to work in water treatment and wastewater treatment and DPW work. So that was kind of a good sign. So they reported.
And they were enthusiastic.
Yeah, it was like the kids were they're having a blast. They actually, they demonstrated how they find a leak in a line, where they listen for it, using their equipment to listen for it, and they showed kids how to, what they do. Well, BOCES was having problems with one of their greenhouses, that there was a leak somewhere, they thought they knew where it was, and they wanted to get it fixed, so Bolton Point agreed to help them find the leak, and then found out that the leak wasn't where they thought it was another place, so that they save a lot of money because they know exactly where to work on it and get it fixed, so, and the kids were all participating in that effort too, so it sounded like a great event. But I was encouraging that there are some kids who are coming up who want to get involved with actually hands-on work, technical work, so. The last thing I have is I ordered the new Harthill Park sign. It's in process of being manufactured. I asked them to get it to us in time for the new sign installation for Don's Celebration of Life event at the end of July. It was July 31st. I said July 31st, so hopefully it'll be in a couple of weeks before that, if we could get that sign up for that event.
Yeah, easy.
And it's the same size, everything's the same, the specs are all the same on the sign, so it should go right into the posts. So the person, Nicholas Kriegler, I think is his name, said that we shouldn't have any problem putting the new sign up. It should just take a little bit. So no drilling holes and setting posts and so forth. So that's all I have for today. So I will move that we adjourn.
Second.
Seconds, all those in favor, say aye.
Enjoy your vacation, come back.
Lovely trip.
We'll do our best.